What the f? What's up, everyone? Welcome to an all-new episode of Casters of Horror. I'm Shane, and this week, everything is all jacked up and full of worms. Written and directed by Alex Phillips, and starring a bunch of people who mostly don't even have profile photos on IMDb. This is the part where I will tell you what this movie is about, so I will do my best to make it sound like it has a plot, alright? Basically, what we've got going on here is two strangers kind of meet up in unusual circumstance, I guess, and they end up becoming drug buddies, I guess. Not really friends, but I don't know. One of them is a cleaner at this sort of seedy motel, and he's cleaning up after the other guy and his lady of the night, I guess. This other guy is, he's a pedo that you're supposed to feel sorry for, I guess, because he really just wants a family, right? But anyway, the the hooker gets them some, this little, can of worms, basically, and, she says, you can do these, like drugs, right? Boy, this episode would not be monetized, even if we were monetized yet. And anyway, they decide to go ahead and do these worms, right? They're eating them, they're snorting them, they're doing whatever other kind of things you can think to them, and basically sends them on this hallucinatory drug trip. And then, a little bit later, they meet up with some other people, kind of run into a stranger. The cleaner goes back to his girlfriend. I guess he's actually kind of in a throuple, and she's looking for, psychedelic metaphysical experiences or whatever. And there's something going on the TV. There's this guy in the background on the TV talking about this cult he was in where I guess they did worms, right? And then there's some other people who are already doing the worms, and they just go on this basically, really messed up drug trip, right? There's something involving this baby. You can probably imagine which character has the it's a pleasure doll in the shape of a baby, right? And then they do some worms and go on this drug trip, right? There's these people who are going around and I guess kind of either maybe they are or they aren't killing people accidentally or on purpose, and then they take some worms and go on this drug trip. This entire movie is one gigantic drug trip. That's all it is, right? There really is no plot. I know that sounds like a bunch of just meandering scenes stitched together. That's what this is. There's really no beginning, middle, and conclusion. It's just a bunch of drug-induced, vignettes kind of stitched together into a feature-length film, I guess. Right? It's low budget, so I'm not really gonna ding it for cinematography or anything like that. It is low budget. It looks low budget. It honestly looks like some pretentious college student's film, final film project or something. I don't know. I'm sure it has a much deeper meaning. But, you have to be willing to look for it. It's just a weird movie. I struggled with what to even say about this one, honestly, because there's nothing, nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's just, they find these worms, they take the worms, and a bunch of weird, stuff happens, and there's some strange things going on. You get the sort of drug, induced, weird visual effects and everything, and there's some I guess there's some like body horror type things, you know. It's and there's this horror. Oh, I guess here, look, my cat stabbed me the other day. If this is blood, that makes this episode a horror movie. That's the kind of thing, you know. It is a little bit visually disturbing, I guess. There's a lot of worm-like imagery with guts and intestines, and I don't. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't actually going on these drug trips. I don't know. To me, this is not a movie. Even I mean, what is if you film something for long enough, as long as it has a long enough runtime, it's a movie, I guess. I don't know. I'm very hesitant to even call this a horror film. You know, it again, unless it's the presence of blood and, you know, maybe some psychedelic shots of guts and some, you know, weird wormish like creatures, I guess. Something like that. But if this review sounds meandering, trust me, it is more on point than anything that happens in this film. Right? So, all jacked up and full of worms. I tell you what, as soon as I finished watching this, I was like, what did I just watch? I don't even know. I don't even know what I just watched. That's what this is, right? So I don't know how this got pushed as a horror film, right? I guess it's because it's one of those that kind of comes out and it's radically different from anything else that's out there, and so everybody's, oh, you got to check this out. You got to check this out, you know. But my personal opinion is you don't need to check it out, right? But by all means, if you have checked it out and you can tell me in the comments what the deeper meaning is to this movie, right? Then drop a comment below. Seriously, that's fine. I want to hear your take on it. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Any movie that doesn't land for me is still more of a movie than I've ever made, but I don't feel compelled to just shoot a bunch of random things and scribble down some things that happen and call it a movie with a plot. I mean, a lot of times I actually wondered if they just gave these characters, these actors, vague directions and be like, I don't know, just like, you know, talk, do some stuff. Because a lot of times that's actually what it felt like. And maybe that is. Maybe that's what passes for writing nowadays. I don't know. This is definitely a movie. Is it, though? I don't know. I didn't like it. There's nothing to like, in my opinion, because there's not really much going on here. It's vignette after vignette after vignette of drug trips and weird things going on in the background. So, if that's your jam, then I guess give this one a shot. You know? I don't know. I guess I've seen things like this before, or that had stuff like this going on before, and didn't hate it. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is this one did you like this one? Let me know. I genuinely want to hear from someone who really loved this film. I did not. Felt like it was a massive waste of time, but here we are. That's my opinion. And yeah, what does that count for anything? I don't. Here's some gummy worms. Here, you know, eat some gummy worms. That's go on a drug trip, snort some gummy worms. Maybe that'll, you know, I don't know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. If I can stomach this anymore. Jeez.